Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Yes, it is tomorrow's New Year's Eve, but we've been doing some early celebrating with twin flame couple Anna Nicole Smith and her son Daniel. Well, that you dove right in. You didn't think too much about it. No, I didn't. Hello, Anna Nicole and Daniel. Well, now you caught me off guard a little bit. I didn't know that you were gonna. Thank you for putting on that blanket. It's okay. Oh, I feel weird. Now suddenly I have nothing to say. I can't believe it. Yeah, what? You were dying to get through, right? Well, we got a couple of things to talk about, but hi Daniel. Hi. Long and winding road, right? Yeah. Longer and more winding by the second. Yeah. John, you like you don't even you I just can't believe. All right, let me just I'll start. I'm gonna take it. All right, Anna Nicole, please do. There's another psychic down here, and she's been doing online readings for only a couple of years, but her powers are pretty good as far as being able to pick up a pretty strong channel, um, and she does a pretty good job with automatic writing, and so um, Alina, I've been sending you hints left and right, honey, child. Yeah, I know. I have wanted to have you in. I know, and John kept not doing it. Yeah, it was like really funny. Every time I thought entertained the idea of having you in, John, did you divert me, John? I did. Okay, and here's what the problem was. Right. Well, first you talk about the psychic that you found me. Right. We look back at yesterday's video, folks. John guided me to this online psychic who did a reading with him in 2023. And very briefly, in the course of John's reading with this woman, John said, "Oh, guess who's over here with me? Anna Nicole Smith. We're both doing the same type of karma together because we were both so famous." And we're palling around sort of. He didn't even say that, but he's like, she's here, and she says hello, and I gave him a look when I heard that, but I my look was like, well, why haven't we had her in yet? And so John, go ahead, John, say what you were going to say. I I thought you would be jealous that she's a real good friend of mine, right? And yours, but I thought that you would. I didn't know how you'd take it. I projected my own stupid feelings of jealousy onto you again. Right. So Anna, you go ahead. Well, I said this is how I'm going to have to get in because I've been telling him, John, look, we've been friends for a long time now. I crossed over in 2007. And you and me have gone through a lot together. You and John, right? Because he, all right, Daniel, my son, is my twin flame, and that was a rough thing for us both to, especially Daniel. He had a very hard time psychologically because of that in in this past incarnation, and we were both chemically dependent. And let's face it, we were a train wreck. And I dragged him into that celebrity world, and he, it was not right. But I know. I have nothing but compassion for you, Anna. I know. I feel that, and I told John, Lena would want us to be friends. Didn't I say that to you, John? Yeah, she did. And I said, well, when I know it for sure in my heart, that I think you're right, Anna. I think you're right, but I want to feel 100% confident about because well, and he was bringing through everyone else. He was bringing through all kinds of other women with problems like Janis Joplin and Karen Carpenter and all these women, Sandy Denny, and just all these women. Who you and I said, John, Lena loves other women. She's never like that with other women, right? By the way, we got to talk, girl, about that. About what? May Pang? Yeah, she's not even anywhere near our core soul group. So that. All right, John's telling me to shut up. John, are you telling Anna Nicole to shut up? Yeah, for now. That's how you talk to her? He does talk to me like that. He's like a big brother to me. He's just like a big brother to me. So much. I was born in 1967, Lena. You were born in 1962. I know you've already done the math. And so, there was like a 20, not, like 20-year age difference between, or whatever. Not so different than you and him. So psychologically, I always thought of John Lennon as a big brother when I incarnated, and when I crossed over to the other side, I said, "Oh, John, it's so great to see you and all," because I love you and I love the Beatles and you're just like you're like my family, and he was so wonderful to me when I crossed over, and then he helped reacclimate me to the twin flame journey, because it is confusing when you cross over, and the way I crossed over from an overdose, a barbiturate and an alcohol overdose, and also an infection, a blood infection that was not treated, and I was just a complete and total mess for most of my life, really, and Daniel had died just before me, and I had to live through that. And once Daniel died, yeah, Daniel, her son, died at the age of 20, just after she had given birth to a baby girl, and in the hospital room, while Anna Nicole was resting, Daniel, sitting in the chair across from her, died in his sleep. Let's take a look at that. Can we look at that picture quickly? Yes. The last picture of them taken together as a family. This is truly heartbreaking. Anna Nicole had just given birth to that little baby girl, Danny Lynn. And there is Daniel, who had just gotten to the hospital to visit his new baby sister and his beloved mother. And then shortly after this photo was taken, Daniel laid down in the hospital chair across from his mother, closed his eyes to take a nap, and died in his sleep at the age of 20. And Anna Nicole woke up to ask him if he wanted to have some lunch with her, but he was dead. Do you want to talk about tragedy? And they were twin flames. And no, it was not an incestuous relationship. It was just a deep, unconditional love relationship, which we do have. Twin flames do experience lives as siblings, as parent and child. We experienced many incarnations together, and this was their last incarnation down here on Earth, and they were together as mother and son. And she died a few months after he did, also of toxic chemical infection and overload. They both had severe problems with anxiety, mental illness, and addiction abuse. Danny Lynn is now a beautiful young woman, looks almost exactly like her mother. She was happily raised by her birth father, and everything's good with her. And so that was very tragic, and that was just to bring everyone up to speed on what, the tumultuous journey, the soul journey that these two, this pair of twin flames went through before both of them tragically crossed over. But Anna, you said you wanted to die after he died. I did. I couldn't. Every day was a horrible agony of loss and despair. Everything I did my whole life was for him and us. It was for us. always me and him against the whole world. I was a baby when I had him. He was my partner. He was the love of my life. And for him to leave me that way, I always said, I can't believe God took him. And why didn't he take me with him? Why did he do that? How could he leave me here? And then I said, oh, well, I do have a baby girl I have to take care of, but I couldn't even function. Right. She's doing wonderful with her daddy, and I'm very, very grateful. And that's all working out fine. So, and I'll be talking to her later. And she's a very, very psychically tuned in girl. I'm here to talk to you and John about the twin flame journey and how I ended up finally coming in to have this little chat with you, Lena. My sister, really, we're soul sisters. We are core soul sisters. Yes, I have always felt very, very much a kinship with you. I always thought you were a riot and just like a girl after my own heart. Love to party. And also right down to the yo-yo dieting. Always our body image was a problem. Suffering through that and how show business made us feel about our appearance and the struggles of gaining weight, losing weight, drinking too much, eating the wrong things, and also just being energetically challenged because we were so emotionally damaged and so sensitive. Yes, terrible empaths, like not terrible, but amazingly, we were sponges for all of the world's negativity along with the world's positivity, which, you know, it's so overwhelming. Yes, yes, it is. But, well, John, what were you saying? Well, me and John have been talking to you all day, right? Getting ready for this visit. So I hope we can cover everything that we've been saying. But one of the funniest things was John, when we were looking back at my life review together, because John helped me with that. When you got to start planning your karma and making good on certain energetic imbalances that you have perpetrated while on the earthly plane, the excesses of fame, you know, you really set yourself up for some heavy karma. You have to really make up for that. So when John was going through the life review with me, he would just be hysterical laughing at all of the things that I would do and saying, if you were my twin flame, I'd kill you. If Lena did that, I'd kill her. You think it's funny, John? You have almost killed me, haven't you? Come on, I don't deserve that. All right, fine. How have I? She has almost killed you. I've seen it. Oh, God. You two really are very chummy, aren't you? I could tell the way you joke around with each other. Yes, and I knew that you would not have a problem with it. And John would get more and more nervous about it every time I asked him, please, I want to come through. I really want to come through and talk to Lena about the whole twin. She'll know I'm not in love with you, John. Not any more than the rest of the universe is in love with you, but I have my own twin flame and she'll understand that. She doesn't see me as competition. You know how many times I said that to him? And what did John say? What did you say, John? Well, I said she's gonna, I don't know, maybe think, because Lena always has a problem with her self-esteem, and she'll think that, that Anna Nicole is more attractive to me than she is, or, well, I don't think that at all. I know that's what she told me, Anna, but I'm not always right about it. It's a happy surprise. I'm happy we're all here. Hi, Daniel. Having this little chat. Yeah. Daniel, do you have anything to say? Just that the energy, an interesting point is that my mother, Anna's energy in the past incarnation as Anna Nicole, her energy was more male and mine was more the female energy. And that's where the imbalance was. I don't mean that I was homosexual or that she was a lesbian or anything I know what you mean. Right. So that was an imbalance. She was like the alpha male or the divine masculine, I think it's referred as. And my energy was the divine feminine. And yeah, that really is a very trying twin flame path. And yeah, you and John, you did have a real striking one. John showed it to us, where he was John Ryan and you were Ryan's daughter. Yes. And that's, you've kind of talked about that here and there. We won't, but you were his daughter, and his wife passed away, and he raised you, and you were deeply, deeply, passionately in love with each other. Right. Well, I was passionately in love with Anna, and that was confusing. Was she passionately, well, her soul, yes, of course, she was passionately in love with me, but she never overstepped. Not really. She didn't have relations with me as Anna, my mother, but she was very handsy and she was very kissy, and it was confusing. And because society, well, right. So that kind of was another layer of that led to toxic overload in other areas. You numb yourself to these feelings because you're like, I shouldn't be feeling this, but I do love her so much. But of course I love her. She's my mother. But I really love her. But oh God, and like no other woman would ever measure up to her because unbeknownst to me at the time, of course, she's my flame, right? And we choose this path in our blueprint before we come down. And we really were ambitious with our blueprint this last time around, me and Anna, and we chose to be mother and son. And it was pretty disastrous, really, on some level. But in other levels, we did great, right? And I congratulate the both of us. And again, John welcomed us both when we got over here, along with mother and father and all the brethren. But John has been our guiding light because he's a professional. And it was kind of a strange, uh, is dichotomy the word? I'm not sure. Because while he was helping us on the twin flame journey back in 2007, 2008, when we first got over to the other side, he was such a tremendous help to us. But at that time, he was experiencing severe separation, anxiety, and pain from not being able to connect with you properly, Lena. So it was just like, healer, heal thyself. We tried to help him as much as he was helping us, but it was very difficult to watch him because John's also an empath, and he would watch these reconnections with people like me and Anna and be very, very, very happy for us. But at the same time, he'd be like, well, when's it going to be my turn? I guess it better be pretty soon, right, guys? Else, I don't know. He would joke around. Maybe I'll kill myself. Which, of course, he was joking. That's John's humor. But, he wanted his love. He wanted that connection. And Anyway, we're all just really glad that he now has that, and I know Anna's really happy, and so am I that we're both here. And I could feel you winding down a little bit, Lena. We could always come back and talk about this a little more another time if you want. I am a little bit tired, and I feel like kind of like a weight on my chest a little bit. That's you're feeling. You're feeling how we both felt just prior to crossover. So I think it's John is nodding vigorously. Yeah, it's a good idea to take this energy and remove it for now. We love you. I love you guys too. Thank you so much for coming through. And you're going to send this transcript over, bring it over to Shanti Veda for an interview later? Yes, I believe we will do an interview with Shanti Veda and you two guys tomorrow. Based on the transcript of this video, it will be our New Year's Eve special. It'll be what we go out on 2025 with. It'll be 3 days before the full moon, 4 days before the full moon. A lot of great energy. John, I love you. I love you too, honey. I'm trying to think because there were so many other things we wanted to talk about. But you know what? We'll think of them by tomorrow when we get involved with the Shanti Veda interview. I'm sure Shanti will ask some questions that jog our memory, and it'll be a big party. Me, you, Shanti Veda, and Daniel and Anna Nicole. What do you say? I'd say it sounds absolutely great. And Anna Nicole, what do you think about Chinese food tomorrow? I cannot wait. I cannot wait. All right, and I'm gonna order something very special. What are you looking at? I like the fish. I do like the fish. All right. So, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. And I like egg roll too. All right. I love being channeled, and I still love the taste of food. And yes, I love I I, I spoke a lot about my carnal appetites. So I'd like to make sure Shanti Veda questions me on my proclivities, because I'm very forthcoming, and she can ask me whatever she wants. And Daniel's nodding his head vigorously, like, "Yep, that's Anna. Ask her whatever she wants." I love you, Anna. I'm so glad you finally got through. Yeah, it took another psychic to bring you to my attention. Yeah, that's the funny part, right? I thought Lena was more jealous of the other psychic than of the fact that I'm hanging around with Anna Nicole, right? And that's the part that grabbed me. I was like, she didn't even blink when she heard I was hanging out with Anna Nicole. She's more pissed off about the psychic being able to channel me, right? Maybe Anna Nicole's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right, John. I am right. All right. Well, it's a happy day. Yes, it is a happy night. And so praise be God and Mother. Everyone, we love you. Yes, ring a little bell here. Getting ready for New Year's. And Johnny, let's go, babe.